What's going on, guys? This is Ed Reviews here for our second annual E3 podcast. Joining me, as always, is the fantastic, the great junior consultant Mike Adams. What's going on, buddy?
Well, you're making me blush. Well, I'm getting good. You know, E3 happened.
E3 happened. Once again, we weren't in Los Angeles because a year later, we're still broke.
Yeah.
We're still college students. And E3's dying. So,
well, imagine spending almost $100 going to see trailers.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that the show floor is fun, but you get you get that kind of a thing in any gaming convention.
Yeah,
like PAX is essentially E3, but more fun.
Yeah.
And not locked to industry insiders and people who can shell out, what is it, like $500 for the 3 days?
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
The badge is the gamer's badge.
I hate that.
is like $500 for the 3 days.
Before we get into this, they said gamer so much at that, and it comes off really tone deaf. Like gamer, when we use it ironically, right? Like, good morning, gamers, let's get this bread. You know, it's funny. It's our word, right? Like, when corporate America starts calling me a gamer, I get all shifty. I'm like,
Well, I think the thing about it is I think that it's the ESA that organizes this event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Entertainment Software Association. I think they want to maintain that elitism of like, this is a trade show. This isn't for you. So they're kind of talking down to you, being like, you're a gamer. Yeah. We'll let you in.
Well, that's totally what they've abandoned from. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. But we're not there. But we watched the press conferences. And just like last year, we're going to go through in pretty much the order that the press conferences happened, talk about the major points. I don't think we'll go in as much depth as we did last year because, one, there wasn't as much as it was last year. And two, the lists we are finding are not as extensive as whatever we had last year. And before we lead it off with the first show, there's kind of an elephant in the room. Two major players, heavily reduced their E3 presence. EA, we don't actually know if there was a booth on the show floor, but they did not do a press conference. They, on the Saturday before the Saturday of E3 week, did a series of live streams for each of the games that they were announcing. They had separate live streams, one for Jedi Fallen Order, one for Madden, one for FIFA. I'm assuming one for whatever little they announced for Apex. And that was kind of it. I think they had like something where the public could go and demo the games in like the Hollywood area.
Yeah.
But that was a significantly different approach. And Sony
just wasn't there.
It was announced, and back in the fall, they just made the official announcement that they weren't going to have a press conference, weren't going to have a booth. They just said, fuck it, we're not going.
Honestly, I didn't really see a lot of, like, people talked about it, sure, but everyone's like, okay.
Yeah, everyone was just kind of like,
Like, we knew they were going to release trailers or something. Like, we knew there was going to be some announcements here and there, but, like,
no actual...
Which is kind of surprising, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I remember at the time being like, wow, that's kind of ballsy.
But like meh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because the thing about the games industry, I've kind of looked at it, I look at it two ways. I look at it from the way of just like, it's a business, and this is a trade show. And the first thing I kind of said was, in what other industry can a major company in an inset industry just flat out skip the trade show?
Yeah, and I guess I'll expand on this point when we talk about it in focus, but like the point of a trade show is for like to get a middleman to get to the consumer. But when you can already get to the consumer with a big media like this, you don't need trade shows for movies. You don't need trade shows for books because you already know about it when it comes out. Like the whole point of a trailer is to be like, this is coming. The point of a trade show is to be like,
this is what you're going to sell to people.
You, media man, tell the man to your left that this game is coming. Like, who's it for?
Yeah. In that respect, I agree. So Sony skipped, and we're going to, towards the end of it, we're going to kind of talk about the shows that did happen, the fact that Sony skipped, maybe what approach is better, quote unquote. Some fun retrospective. But first, let's lead it off with...
Let's start it first. It was...
do you want to talk about what EA showed?
Fallen Order, I don't know if it was just the first couple levels that make it look uninteresting, but it looks like,
Looks like a third-person Jedi game.
Yeah, like
And when he
Like
asked me,
Battlefront 2's Jedi combat's better than that shit, dude. And I've been playing with Battlefront 2 a little more. It's kind of fun.
I refuse to
it's
fall
fun.
for that again.
No, it's
and
fine.
when he on that Saturday, I think he had just messaged me and said, "Oh, did you see what they showed for Fallen Order?" And I'd seen a little bit of it, and I just kind of said like, "It looks pretty cool." The Star Wars nerd in me is like, yes. But because it's EA,
I'm not gonna buy it.
I don't trust them at all. Even though you have Cameron Bikevan, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty looking game.
It's by Respawn.
You're EA. I don't trust you.
Yeah, no, that's completely understandable.
And then the sports games are the sports games.
Sports game. Yeah, I don't think they announced anything that we didn't know about already. You know, like
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but nothing.
I don't know what they said about. Do you know any chance what they said about Apex? If there was anything to say.
This season 2 is coming. New hero, new weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Apex, but it's a
Battle Royale.
I haven't touched it in a very long time. I booted it up a few days ago just to see how I was. My skill levels dropped off, and I just kind of don't.
Yeah, it's like
It was really fun at first, but then it just kind of gets repetitive.
yeah. I think we're just done with Battle. I think the phase is going out. Which sorry,
Unless
Bethesda.
you're. We'll get there when we get to Bethesda, but yeah, sorry, Bethesda.
Unless you're Bethesda, you jump on the train late.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so stupid.
So that was EA. Then Sunday was let off by Microsoft. Same thing as last year. He doesn't have an Xbox. I have an Xbox, so we have kind of differentiating perspectives.
Yeah.
Do you have that list just so we can kind of talk about the major hits? This year, I'll say as he pulls that up, I'll just riff for a second. This year, they upped the ante with how many games they showed. They showed 60 as opposed to 50.
Okay, can we talk about the Google Stadia real quick? while I'm finding this, the Google Stadia.
Okay, sure.
You don't know about this?
Well, so I know what it is. It's a glorified controller and gaming system.
It is a new, I think it's stream-only gaming system by Google.
And it's just a fucking controller, right?
It's a controller and a console.
Oh, there is a console attached.
A lot of things are coming out on the Stadia.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I knew roughly what it is. Because the future of gaming is streaming.
It's streaming. Like, why?
Stop! Why? No one wants this.
Let me buy and have my games.
Did you see the fucking?
It's so impermanent.
Did you see the Xbox that they're selling now that doesn't have a disc port?
Does it not have a disc port?
They released a cheaper model.
Okay.
That is just the white box with no disc port.
Yeah.
So you download everything digitally. I'm like, why? And no.
So a big thing, obviously, in Microsoft was Cyberpunk 2077, which
Yeah.
is my Lord and Savior, Keanu Reeves, my guy.
Moment of E3.
I'm buying Cyberpunk. If I wasn't before, no, Cyberpunk for real, like, that's a really cool aesthetic, a grimy, like, Neo City.
Yeah, I liked that trailer a lot. I know everybody went nuts to see Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it's just, the more they show of that game, the more I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
I hope it's like we are getting what we're seeing. You know?
Yeah,
I'm praying, bro. I'm praying for it.
I hope so.
Xbox Scarlet was announced. The
newest Xbox.
They didn't tell us
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
Shocking.
officially
We're moving on.
Moving on to the next generation, which feels wrong because I feel like.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's been, I guess.
It's been 7 years.
It's been 7 years, so it's time.
It's time.
Like
and
it's
the
time.
new stuff they're talking about, like ray tracing and SSDs, like, yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, as it is, we're gonna probably both get the PlayStation 5s before
Yeah.
anything else.
for Xbox. I kind of like the name Scarlet. I kind of hope they keep that.
Yeah, but
The
they
Scarlet.
never do.
They never do. But that would be a really cool. I don't know.
What was
I think that'd
what
be
was
cool.
the Xbox One called before? It was Project Morpheus, I think.
Was it Morpheus? That would have been such a cooler name.
Yeah. But then I got to keep it to Xbox.
Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
So my reaction.
Are they
when
remaking all of them into one? Because it said like
it's gonna be all of the games into one package.
So are they remaking the old ones?
See,
or are they...
I don't actually know because it was just a trailer.
They have remasters out, so I'm wondering if they're just gonna bundle them.
I actually don't know because the thing about it is the original Lego Star Wars games back in the PS2 era were awesome, but that was LucasArts.
Yeah.
Again, because
Disney.
it's Disney and Disney licensed it. I'm assuming it's EA developing it.
Yeah,
then,
it is.
because EA has the exclusive rights to make Star Wars games. it's another thing where I'm like, you fuckers, I don't want you to have this.
We'll see when it comes out.
I really just wish that Disney had kept LucasArts. Like, it's kind of an aside, but I wish they had just kept the LucasArts development studio.
I read something a while ago that LucasArts is having a lot of internal issues, though.
LucasArts doesn't exist anymore.
Or it did. That's why I said it did have a lot of internal
It did have issues, and that's why they...
That's kind of the...
But see, even then, you do what you're doing with Marvel. License it out to whoever wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give it to one specific studio.
Yeah, that's what they should do.
Because I love that about Marvel, is that they're letting different people do different things.
They let Marvel fans work on their Marvel properties.
Yeah.
Imagine, bro.
I know!
And
what a novel concept, because we had the Spider-Man on... That was Rox... Who did
Insomniac.
Insomniac, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Insomniac, and then we have the Square Enix Avengers, which we'll talk about when we get to Square.
I'm excited for that.
But, like, I like that approach better than give the license to one company. And again, especially because that company is EA. So with Lego Star Wars, a part of me was excited because I loved those games growing up. But I don't know if it's the original versions of 1 through 6, or if EA is going to remaster them, what have you.
There's a new thing from George R.R. Martin, and that's going to be like a Dark Souls, like Game of Thrones-y kind of deal. It's called Elden Ring. I'm not a big From Software guy, but, you know...
I vaguely remember them showing this.
That sounds like a really cool concept.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, Dark Souls, I'm down for that.
Also in the realm of Lego, they announced
Forza.
the best thing at the Xbox event.
No.
The Forza Horizon Lego expansion pack.
Yeah.
Words I never thought I would hear together.
Yeah,
Forza Horizon and Lego. But I don't know if I was just so bored at that point in the Microsoft conference, but all of a sudden they're showing trailers from Forza, and I'm like, okay, they're going to talk about something with Forza.
Like, yeah, they usually do.
And then you start hearing "Everything is Awesome" from the Lego movie playing.
So weird.
And then a Lego minifigure driving a Lego sports car comes in, and I'm just like, you didn't. And then they keep showing it, like, Lego humor madness keeps going through this trailer. And I'm like, you did. You bastard.
Which to us is really funny, but can you imagine the race heads out there?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
the race heads are probably
like Forza.
pissed.
We're probably like, what the fuck is
And of
this?
course, I'm like, yes!
Shit.
I never knew. I think I texted my friend, or I tweeted this. I said, I never knew I wanted a Lego Forza Horizon expansion pack, but I want it.
Oh, man. That's funny, though.
That's amazing.
There's... Blair Witch is making a horror game, which...
Why?
I don't know. But I guess if any horror movie was going to make a horror game, well, Blair Witch is alright.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. That's what
But I mean, movie-to-game adaptations are...
When we hit Bethesda, we got to talk about that Netflix thing. Like, we
will.
We will. Oh my god, that just came back to me. Psychonauts 2, a lot of people have been waiting for that.
I'm sorry, which one was that?
Psychonauts 2. I don't think you ever played the first one.
Yeah,
I didn't. But
I remember them showing it.
A lot of people consider it a classic.
Yeah.
And then they ended the show with Halo Infinite.
And does that list mention what they led with? I genuinely can't remember what it was called.
They say Cyberpunk.
But Cyberpunk didn't lead the show. It was something before Cyberpunk.
They didn't say anything here.
Damn it. Do you remember what it was called?
I don't, but I know what you're talking about.
But whatever... So, for those who actually watched the E3 press events, whatever they led the show with, I liked. I feel really bad. I can't remember what it was called, but it seemed like pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really all the.
That was Microsoft.
There was a lot.
There were 60 games.
There was a lot of games. But
the thing about it is,
them a lot.
I was talking. I was talking to my mom, who doesn't really like the games, but knows we talk about this, and I'm saying, yeah, Microsoft showed 60, and she's like, how did they do that in an hour and a half? I'm like, well, technically they don't. Like
by saying world premiere, like every 3 seconds.
Yeah, and then it's just like it's montages of trailers. I think they announced some indie support, which was cool. Was that one where they talked about Minecraft Dungeons? That's the only thing I wanted to mention.
Then there's the Outer Worlds.
That's what they led with.
Yeah, the Obsidian game, Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
So
that's what they led the show with.
I don't know if you ever heard of Fallout New Vegas. A lot of people like that game.
I know. I'm familiar with
that's
that.
the one Obsidian made. So that's the one everyone likes. It looks kind of bad. Like, the graphics kind of bad. But I like it's the freeform Obsidian RPG where you can do literally whatever you want. Yes. There's an NPC there. Boom! that's the Bethesda everyone loves. But then they started making essential NPCs so you can finish the main. Who cares?
So they led with this Outer Worlds, which the concept, as best I remember, was just like it's space in the future, and the corporations run everything, and you get to rebel or something,
or fight with them,
You
can do whatever you want.
It looks. I don't know what it was about that, but I was just like, ooh,
it's a very good concept.
Really neat concept.
Graphics kind of suck, but who cares?
I was like,
cool. If it's a freeform RPG, I'm willing to let graphics go.
And then, like I said, the only other thing I remember of note was that Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons.
Which why
Minecraft Diablo? You didn't want that.
Who asked for this?
No one asked for it, but it's Minecraft. They just kind of throw crap out. Oh, Flight Simulator actually looked kind of beautiful. Like I know I'm joking. I know that's like it's a meme Flight Simulator, but it actually looked really good.
Yeah, I was
like graphically that looked really. I didn't know that was a trailer at first. I thought that was like real life playing.
Yeah,
what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, that's real. That's nice.
That was cool. So I think that kind of covers Micro in
Gears, Dying Light.
Gears, I'm still interested, but I have to probably play the first 4 before.
Borderlands 3 looks good. Yeah. They showed like 4 trailers of that around E3, and I'm gonna get it. It looks pretty good. And that's basically it. That's basically
Microsoft. I know that was probably like the quickest segment we did, yet they showed the most games out of anybody.
It's mostly they didn't have a lot of stuff that I was interested in.
Yeah, and not me neither.
So I'm sorry if we gloss over something that you're interested in. But
we don't care as much.
Shut up.
But again,
sorry.
No, I agree. If you don't like it, you can find something that you do like. But as it is, me as even as an Xbox owner, I was kind of like, there's about 6 games out of the 60 that I'm moderately interested in.
I think the worst thing in E3 could be is average, right?
Yeah. You wanna give a game of that conference? Because I know we did that last year.
I guess in the stance of like Xbox owners, I'd say Halo Infinite because that's really big for them. It looks cool. I don't know.
I don't give a shit when anybody says Forza Lego expansion game of the Microsoft show. All right, next was Square was Sunday, I think.
Square was Sunday?
Not Square. I'm sorry. Bethesda was Sunday.
Yeah, well, oh boy, Bethesda.
So, if you listened to us last year, we fucking loved the Bethesda conference. Because last year, they still gave off that feeling of we're genuine. At that conference,
it was too good.
It was too good. Like it was. We fell for it to some extent. Like
we were consumers.
We were consumers, but they still. You have to admit that last year
it was a good show.
It was a good show. I rewatched after this year's Bethesda event. I zoomed through it, but I rewatched some of last year's Bethesda event just to be like, so what was different? And there was something about it where they portrayed a little bit more of like this. We called it genuineness.
It's just natural. Just being a real human on stage.
They were real humans. What did you said last year? You said something along the lines of like, yeah, we're here. We know you like our games, and we're talking to you.
It wasn't, hey, gamers. It was, hey, people.
Hey, people who like our games.
You like games. We're going to give you games.
They shouted.
Very good.
They shouted, fuck Nazis several times in last year's conference.
And they did say fuck a lot, but it was a lot of weird placement for swears, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like every time they swore, I'm like, wait, why?
And so, as many of you may know... they botched Fallout 76.
That's the word for it, huh?
That's the nicest word for it. Would you like to say more expletive words?
So if you never played Fallout 76, never heard of it, this game was a trash heap. If you played Fallout 4, imagine that. It's bigger, sure, but nothing works. You go into a room, it starts flickering. The game not lights, the game starts flickering. There's spawn issues, though, like 1,000 robots will come out of a thing for no reason. They have a skill on a weapon called vampirism, so when you hit an enemy you get health back, right?
Yeah.
They glitched it so you just swing at anything and you get health back. So there's videos of people just swinging as they're walking, just getting health back a little bit. Enemies won't get hit correctly. There's Joseph Anderson made a video about the 1001 glitches of Fallout 76. That's all you gotta hear, really.
And
they lied about a bunch of stuff.
They botched the collector's edition with that vinyl bag.
Nylon bag. Woo!
And Bethesda, in one release, lost all of the goodwill they had in the gaming industry right now.
Now everyone is worried about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, the two new announcements they had last year that everyone is stoked about.
Yeah, and coming into the conference, everyone was like, how are they going to play this? Is Todd Howard going to be there? Mm-hmm. Are they going to apologize? Are they just going to try and play it as casual as they did last year? What are they going to do? And they lead it off with, as they always have started, I think this was their fourth conference this year.
Sounds right.
Every year they've kind of let it off with like, we are multicultural, we are a great dev company, we care.
Pandering.
This year, it's always like pandering, but at least...
It's nice.
The other years I was like, oh, that's nice that you're at least like you're acknowledging that human beings work on this. Yes. Where like as EA, they're just like, sports! Bethesda would always be like, we know that there's people who do this. But this year... I forget what like the overarching message was, it was in the first little bit, but they were just like...
It was, we care about you.
We care... Oh yeah, we care about you. We listen to you. And they had a bunch of devs being like, if you didn't play this, I wouldn't have a job. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, some of you shouldn't have jobs after what you did. And right off the bat, I knew that it was going to be overtly apologetic.
The company's on the back foot. They gotta...
Their
PR team is probably on fire.
their PR team, and again, as someone who studies like PR and marketing, I understand that
majors.
This is the only thing they can do is try and convince everyone that you're genuinely sorry.
Who said it? I think it was in one of the shows we watched, but I can't remember when. One of the guys said, "This is a hard industry to fly bullshit by your consumers."
Yeah,
because like. We're used to it.
Yeah.
Like you can't call bullshit on us because we'll be like, that's bullshit.
The thing about it is, and I have to pity the people who have to try and make that spin for Bethesda because the gaming industry is very hard to be genuine in.
Yeah.
We can spot a faker a mile away. And the way that the message of you guys really do matter to us felt fake. Because throughout the whole show, there were these interstitials of Bethesda fans.
It felt forced. I don't know if maybe it was fake, but it definitely felt forced.
Yes, it was this forced like interstitials between trailers where they'd have people who apparently were just diehard Bethesda fans talking about what their games mean to them as consumers, and you could definitely tell that they were. Not hammering in, but they were going for like, see?
And like, that would be nice and all.
So bad.
If that didn't come off right after a thing. Like, it's just, come on.
Yeah, you know that they did that to try and convince us.
It's like busting somebody's car and then being like, I got you a window. Like, you still busted my car, man. Like, the game still exists. It's still...
So they led with that, and that was kind of the overall tone. They started, I think, with like explaining what they've done to fix 76, right?
Yeah, some guy came on stage and he was like,
first Todd Howard did.
Yeah, and then he invited Todd Howard on.
Oh, it was the president of marketing led it off as he always does.
And then he said, Bethesda, woo! Here's Todd Howard, woo!
And then of course everyone's like, oh Christ, what is the joke he made? They're like, 70 million of you played it. You guys liked it, right?
No, he was like, there was a lot of excitement at Bethesda this past year. Given some of that excitement, I'm surprised you're still here. Funny joke, but you know, you shouldn't make that joke. That's my joke to make.
Not you, because you are half of the reason.
And then he goes on to say, well, 60 million players played our games the most ever. Woo! I know I talk about the clapping a lot, but every time this E3, I was even saying it to you. I'm like, why are you clapping?
These are numbers.
Yeah, like and they announced other mobile games in this, and they're clapping, and I'm like, you don't know anything about this, and you don't care. Shut up and stop clapping. You don't care. Why are you clapping?
So yeah, they announced fixes for 76,
which who knows if it's gonna be good.
It was like. They're adding NPCs. This week
there was we're adding human NPCs. I'm like, why'd you swear?
They're adding. Well, first off, this week, the week of E3, you could download it for free. Yet I can't find the free download on the PlayStation
Is it this
Store.
week, or is it like July,
or was it July?
No, not July, or was it like next week or something like that?
Maybe it's next week, and I got confused.
I know a lot of games are doing like end of this week, or they're doing something like that.
I can't find it yet on the PlayStation Store, but they're doing a free week to kind of like just have everyone be like, try it.
I'll try it.
You'll like it.
If it's free, I'll give it a shot. I got nothing to lose.
And then they announced the most tone-deaf thing they could possibly do for Fallout 76. What did they call their There's a battle.
I like the name, Nuclear Winter. That's
Nuclear
cool.
Winter. Fallout 76 Battle Royale.
So everyone was like, "Oh, we don't care," but I'm thinking, they diverted development time to an already
dying
scarce
subgenre
game. Yeah, like a dying subgenre, but a scarce game that needs all the development time it can get. So why are you making a side mode like this when your game's incomplete? I don't get it, dude.
Now do you see what I was talking about last year with fucking battle royales?
Yeah, no.
Everyone's trying to copy it.
I wouldn't care, but this is Fallout 76 right after a controversy, right after apologizing for that controversy. Then they're like, Battle Royale. What are you doing?
What are you doing, and why are you doing
That's
it?
why I don't believe anyone can write a fucking apology. That's their PR team. That's not them.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we don't care. Just do nothing. Don't say you care, because you're lying. Stop saying it.
After that, I think they talked about Wolfenstein.
No, or after that, they talked about a mobile game.
Oh, they talked about the mobile game and then Wolfenstein.
Which
so
I'm gonna get.
The mobile game was just
fucking
the update to Swords, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Elder Scrolls Blades.
Yeah,
not
whatever.
Swords. Close enough.
Yeah, I know they announced another mobile game. Dark Crystal. Yeah, I don't know either. Wait, no. Before all of this, but after the Nuclear Winter, there was the Netflix thing with that guy from Always Sunny.
No, that was Ubi.
That was Ubi. Sorry, that was
Ubi.
That was the second thing Ubi showed. I'm sorry.
I can't wait to talk about that in Ubi.
It's all it's all blending together. E3 sucked.
This E3 was awful.
It's all blending together.
We got to get through Bethesda's
we gotta get through
shittiness
Bethesda.
before we get to Ubisoft's
What
shittiness.
else did they show? They showed a couple more things.
They showed the.
There was a couple interesting things. Actually.
I mean, they showed
Ghostwire Tokyo. That was that was the one with the Japanese lady talking on stage. Yeah, that seemed pretty cool. It had a cool CG trailer. I don't know anything about it though.
I liked what they showed for the new. Why did I already forget it?
I don't know. Oh, Deathloop looked kind of cool. That was the one.
That was the murder mystery. That
was a time travel. Apparently, it's a time travel.
It's the Groundhog's Day.
Yeah,
Groundhog's Day. I know that it's not. This didn't originate for that, but everybody calls it the Groundhog Day concept of reliving the same day over and over and over.
Which is really it seems like two stories that kind of come together. Like I have to stop this person. The same thing. That's kind of cool. I like that. What if another person was trapped in a groundhog?
I would wonder how.
I gotta see more about it.
Yeah.
I need to see gameplay before I say it. But I like the idea. What was the other one? It was...
Doom Eternal.
I'm getting it. Of course I'm getting it. Doom Eternal looks fun as fuck.
I demoed a Doom game at one point, and it's fun, but not really my...
Yeah, it's fun.
It's more mindless
if
to
you
me.
Like, high-octane, mindless action.
Yeah.
That's what... I like that sometimes.
I just didn't like that. I mean, I get my high-octane, mindless shit from playing the Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's also challenge in the Tomb Raider games. They literally said in the Bethesda thing, the whole point is you're supposed to be...
Doom had challenges? Doom had exploration challenges. Doom's actually surprisingly deep. Doom 2016. I'm assuming Eternal will be. Yeah, they had little hidden crevices.
Well, remember, I only played a demo.
I know. Yeah, it's only a demo, but it's mainly you can go through it and just shoot shit, but there's also other challenges and stuff like that, upgrades. And it's pretty cool. Rage stuff for Rage 2.
Rage 2, yeah.
That's basically it.
Because we didn't
that's all the interesting shit.
Why did I just say the name of the Nazi game and I can't remember?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. Thank you.
Youngblood is the name.
Wolfenstein Youngblood. They announced it, and can I just say again? Weirdly enough, one of my favorite things from the Bethesda thing was the Wolfenstein developers because they shouted "fuck Nazis," and this time they were so reserved.
Well, because look at their company right now. They're like, I think people like us. Well, because everyone always vehemently loves Doom.
Yeah.
hates Fallout 76. Wolfenstein, no one's talked about that since the Colossus came out.
And
because then they're just like, do you like us? I don't know. Because how are you going to come from a company that just scammed a bunch of people into saying we're going to kill Nazis? Like, that's a little... I'd be a little worried, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd be a little like, oh, is this going to backfire on us?
I guess you can't play it as casual, but I'm just like, but you're also Wolfenstein, one of the fucking weirdest games on the planet.
Yeah, the inventor of the first-person shooter. Woo!
Yeah, so that was Bethesda, and I guess... game of that conference. I'm not going to give one because fuck Bethesda.
Deathloop seems cool.
Deathloop seems like a cool concept. Yeah, I'll go Deathloop, I guess.
Deathloop or Doom. Yeah.
So and I guess just as a whole, again, we were saying it through that whole messy discussion on Bethesda, pandering, obvious attempt to apologize that didn't feel genuine to me or you.
No. Then Ubi, right?
Ubisoft.
Interesting, you know.
I will lead this by saying I thought nobody could top how weird and awful the PlayStation event last year was. Ubisoft promptly said, hold my beer, and produced whatever that was.
It was simultaneously like funny bad, but also boring, but also just bad.
Yeah.
Like it was all there was glimpses of times where I just started laughing because everything was so nonsensical.
Yeah.
I thought I was on drugs for a part of this.
I thought I was
so they opened up really strong actually. Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, so before they opened that though.
Oh right, I forgot about this. The pre-show, right.
The pre-show again, like we did last year, we were watching IGN's stream for it. And they say, now starting the Ubisoft of press conference. And they start with just an orchestra sitting on the stage in a theater that somehow looked, I think they were in the same theater that they were last year, but it somehow looked smaller. And there's just a string orchestra on the stage. And you see the Assassin's Creed logo, and they play snippets of music from the Assassin's Creed games.
Now that I know that wasn't part of the show, I liked that. That was really nice.
And which I already had read about it, but they announced the Assassin's Creed Symphony World Tour, which is a thing that's happening in any media, in any TV show, video game, movie that has music. Good they have music, now symphony tours.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait, you're leading with this? And then you see two awkward hosts being like, the Ubisoft press conference starts now. Yeah, and then you get the countdown.
See, I thought they were going for an Assassin's Creed reveal, which would have been cool at the end of that. Just play the new theme or whatever it is. Yay! That would have been cool. And then, nope, just an orchestra.
Nope, just here's the orchestra tour.
It was very nice.
It was nice, but
why was that in the show?
But it wasn't.
It wasn't. But I wonder was that just IGN that did that, or is that like a universal stream thing?
I would wonder. I would actually wonder if it was just a mistake on IGN's part.
Take this with a grain of salt, listeners.
But like they flat out said, okay, now to start the press conference.
Now we're going to
and then they show the stereotypical 10, 9, 8... that every company does for some reason.
I'm less offended by that, I guess. Like, hey, the stream's starting. Okay.
Yeah. And so they lead with Watch Dogs Legion, is it called?
Legion. I like it's
Watch Dogs. It's Watch Dogs 3, but it's called Watch Dogs Legion.
And the gimmick of this, which I really like the gimmick, I'm going to be honest, is that every NPC can be recruited and controlled. So and I was confused by this because I was like, it can't be everyone, right? Because they were showing in the trailer that like they have personality. So I'm like, you can't make a different personality for every NPC. That's impossible.
Especially because this game takes place in post-Brexit London.
Yeah,
which is weirdly specific.
Yeah,
but
a cool aesthetic though. It's like reminds me of Kings Row. It's that futuristic-y on like the old like on London buildings, which I always love that. Shit. Yeah. So
it's London.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be like
big
that.
old city.
You're gonna be against whatever cyber organization. You're a resistance essentially. I'm setting that up. So you can recruit people, whatever. And they revealed that there's going to be classes, which is what I'm assuming, like, each NPC is going to fall under a certain class.
Yes.
And that's the personality will have with slightly different voice acting lines, is what I'm going to say. That's the best they could do on that. Which is fine. That's still a really cool concept.
With that trailer, you find out they got some murdering grannies.
You could control grandmas, baby. And I'm not talking like, just an old person. I'm talking like stereotypical, like, flower hat, long 3 dresses.
With a pistol.
With a pistol grandma.
And a robot spider.
Yeah. Also, there's a robot AI, I think.
And with that, I forget who made it clear that you could do this, but if you want, your whole game, your whole 20-person organization can be nothing but grannies.
Hell yeah.
We were pissing ourselves laughing at the idea of playing an entire gritty Ubisoft campaign with grandmas.
Trailer went on for a while, and we figured out why.
They spent 30 minutes
talking about
Watch Dogs with 15 minutes being trailer.
That was the best thing in their goddamn shit.
And then 15 minutes being gameplay. I think it was like 15 and 15.
It was like shown, like, kind of mixed throughout.
And we're kind of sitting there after the half hour goes on, and we're saying to ourselves, like, wait, you're dedicating a lot of time to this Ubisoft. Why?
Then they talk about...
And then he brought this up, and he thought it was Bethesda.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden...
What's his name? Fuck, I'm gonna look it up.
They cut to... Again, this is after Ubisoft. I mean, after Watch Dogs. They just cut to a television.
I think was it Rob McKell? However you say his last name.
Show me the picture.
That was him.
Yes.
Rob McSomething. I'm sorry. I can't
Rob McElhenney?
I'm gonna say Rob McEney. I'm not. I know that's not right.
One of the producers. So they have like.
The guy who plays Mac in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's who it is.
He walks out, and he starts pitching a TV show.
So Netflix logo appears, and I'm like, oh no.
It wasn't Netflix. This one was the one.
This is Netflix.
No, this was the Apple TV thing.
Well, it's also on Netflix, wasn't it?
Or
no. Sorry,
there was two things.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the Apple TV one.
In Ubisoft's E3 video game press conference, they talked about a TV show and a movie they're developing. What? Yeah. So the creator of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia comes out, and he's talking about an idea for a show he has about a video game development team and the antics that go on in a video game development team.
With painfully stereotypical characters.
And
imagine bad The Office. And if you already don't like The Office, well, there you go. Like, that's what it is.
So, like, he explains this premise, and then his trailer is as if they were showing a trailer for the video game that doesn't exist.
It's very meta, wasn't it? It was
too meta.
The show's about, like, it's our world, and there is E3 in the world of the show.
Yeah.
And their game, their shitty MMO, and they show it. It looks shitty. The shitty MMO is the most popular game in the world. And I think he described it as the show will be a mix of the challenges of game development with the wackiness of Office, whatever the word he used was. Yeah. So.
And we're sitting there, and we're saying to ourselves, like, what?
We're still watching E3, right?
Yeah. Did we change the channel?
Like,
Did somebody at Ubisoft change the channel? Like, what the fuck's happening?
Weird, dude. And then,
why are you telling us about a TV show?
The other thing was the Division movie, right? That was the other media
That's the
thing.
Other, yeah.
But at least that's based on it. Like, I can see it more being there.
Because the Division is a Tom Clancy concept.
Yeah.
And Tom Clancy stuff is movies, too.
Yeah, so, like, and that's, like, yeah, show that your video game is being made into a movie. Whatever, I'm fine with that. But pitching a show about a fictional, not real, shitty video game.
And then
the second thing you're showing at your E3 conference.
Yes. And also announcing that it's going to be on the sure to be successful Apple TV subscription.
Dude, I hate this. When did E3 become a dumping ground, man? When did this become what E3 is?
Yeah, at that point we're saying, like, was it there where we said, like, well, now I understand why Sony didn't want to come.
That was one of the many instances we said that, yes.
Where we're just like, what? Now we... Okay, Sony.
Speaking of Tom Clancy, that's all they showed.
So they showed that TV thing, then they showed whatever. The Adventure Time characters are coming to whatever.
Yeah, to Brawlhalla. That's kind of cool.
To Brawlhalla.
Adventure Time characters are coming to Brawlhalla. Yay, that's all you needed.
Yeah, they were just like... There was like a little sketch probably written by the people who write the Adventure Time with Finn and Jake, which I don't like to begin with.
No.
Never really liked that show. And then they spent 40 minutes, 40, I think it was, showing nothing but updates or new Tom Clancy games.
Yeah, like the majority of their show was different kinds of Tom Clancy games. But a new one, a mobile game. But no, for real, the one that looked interesting to me was the... I think it was Rainbow Six Infection or something like that.
Yeah, something along the lines of Rainbow Six Infection.
As Rainbow Six Siege was like the co-op shooter, Infection's going to be the PvE survival.
Yes.
That's interesting. Sure.
Yeah.
They have a new mobile game that they showed off. You see where I'm going with this? There's always fucking mobile games. That doesn't look interesting. Of course it doesn't. No one's excited about it. But they still clap.
Woo!
What else?
Tom Clancy!
The thing literally doesn't even say anything. Like, it's so...
Then they announced...
I know they had something.
They announced...
Oh, Just Dance, of course. They got lazy with it this year, though.
The obligatory Just Dance announcement, which I don't even know, except for the fact that you don't have anything. What is the purpose of doing these big choreographed announcements when we know you're gonna make a Just Dance game every year?
For the show? I don't know, man. Like,
but even at this point, you've stopped.
All they did was have a weird commercial about they personified the dancers.
They personified those terrifying white ghost dancers that you just need to...
Whatever. It's creative.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Whatever.
Because they made...
They Toy Story.
They made every joke you'd think they'd make.
Yeah, you're right.
And then I guess and the thing about it is this is the 10-year anniversary of Just Dance.
Is it? I thought they would have had something bigger for it then. Damn.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like all they did, that commercial, and then they came out and staged a small dance number to the Panic.
High Hopes by Panic.
I'm sorry, Panic. You don't deserve that.
Which I'm sitting there.
It's a cringe song now.
Yeah, like I said to Mike, I'm like, God fucking
that
damn it.
falls right under with Happy by Pharrell. That's
I'm
right there
like,
now.
God damn it. I like that song.
No, you don't.
And I'm like, you ruined it, UB.
No, E3. And you can blame E3 for it collectively.
You ruined it, E3, by playing High Hopes during that. Because the thing about it is, especially for your 10-year, when they first announced Just Dance, and like through the first 4 Just Dance games, and again, I never liked those games.
Last year was crazy, dude. They had a panda suit. They were out in the parking lot and shit. They went wild.
They did go wild. But even then, like, it used to be that you get a pop star to, like, sing. And, like, I didn't care that much. I'm like, oh, at least you got something to, like, make it feel bigger. Now they're just like, we're doing this here. And again, it's the 10-year anniversary, so they announced some kind of contest where if you like talk about what Just Dance means to you and send it to some website, you can win a pair of, I think it was like Vans or something that are customized to Just Dance.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is stupid.
Oh, the dog. Oh, one of the Tom Clancy games where they're called the Wolves. The dude with the dog came on stage.
That was random.
Yeah, that was random.
They were just like, dog, so you talk about us.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the only interesting thing. Like
one of the Clancy devs just brought a dog out, and like you could tell that they only brought the dog out because they're just like, we want to be remembered as the conference that had a dog.
Yeah, people make memes about it right now. So,
yeah, there have been some memes about dog.
But damn, I can't even. Oh, and then you think Assassin's Creed was gonna say something, but the makers of them did. So they start showing this, like, they have a screenshot.
This is how they closed it, by the way.
Yeah, this is the closing thing. I think it was a Tom Clancy game before. Of course it is. They showed off a screenshot, and I got.
They talked about, before we do that, they talked about For Honor updates, new event.
So random Ubi games got updates and expansions. For Honor, good for you if you still play it. It's a fine game. I don't like it, but people do.
Yeah. So we get back to what they closed on.
Yeah. So they had a nice screenshot. I thought it was going to be like a cool little art style, like Breath of the Wild. Like that's how the screenshot looked, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. And then they kept going. I was like, ooh, this does not look nice.
It's something about they wanted to.
It's called Gods and Monsters.
They were like from the makers of Assassin's Creed and. a former Assassin's Creed dev came out and set the clip up of like, we wanted to tell stories about Greek gods now. And he essentially, without saying the words, we don't want to make Assassin's Creed games anymore, said, we don't want to make Assassin's Creed anymore.
Unfortunately, it seems their art department went with them. And or went with Ubisoft, not the devs. Because Gods and Monsters looks awful. It looks like...
It's some kind of...
It looks like Disney...
Shittier Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it does not even. It looks like plastic. It looks like a mobile game commercial. That's what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's some kind of like...
It's that plasticky, cheap animation.
And it's something with
Gods
Greek mythology and Gods and Monsters, and I don't like it.
It looks uninspired. It looks unoriginal. It looks shitty, and I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Again, from the makers of Assassin's Creed, can mean anything. Can mean like the 3 Q&A devs they just fired. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it could be anything.
Oh, they also, during that show, I just remembered, they announced their new subscription service.
Subscription, Uplay Plus. That's great, huh? Because everyone loved Uplay, because of course you want a premium version.
Premium, you get to play Ubisoft games when they come out. And every shitty Assassin's Creed game ever made.
It's like for $13-15 a month. Like,
yeah, $14.99 I think.
Stupid.
Yeah. But that's the rate, except for, and this is one thing I gotta give Xbox credit for.
Microsoft Game Pass.
Yeah, except for Games Pass. Games Pass regular is $10 a month.
See, even with like PS Now, right? Like that's like all PlayStation games, right?
Yeah.
But like Ubisoft, just like here's our Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who likes Ubisoft enough to spend $15 a month on Ubisoft.
To just get to play their shitty games.
Yeah, like if it was a yearly 15, that's fine. I wouldn't be offended by that. But
so Ubisoft,
it's so impermanent though, dude.
Yeah.
Like those servers are gonna shut off. The internet's not gonna be around forever. There's gonna be something else probably. Right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it. But like these things are impermanent, so I don't understand why companies are like streaming.
well, Yves Guillemot was the first major, if you can call Ubisoft a major, but major executive in gaming to say the future is streaming. I remember that last year, Guillemot was the first one to be like, his quote was something along the lines of, I believe that the next console generation will be the last, and everything will be streaming in the future.
No, because...
Fuck you.
Because it's not true. You just want to cut down on physical development costs. You want to cut down on cases and CD making. Whatever, man. Like, it sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Like, I'm fine with digital downloads, I guess, but as long as I have the game, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it's transferable in some way, it's kind of
I agree. So, that was Ubisoft, and... is my takeaway?
No, I guess Game of the Show has to go to Watch Dogs, right?
Yeah, I agree. Watch Dogs, but just... what the fuck was that?
Just, you could tell they just didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Like, nothing.
They're like, we have to do this, but we don't have anything, so...
What do we have ready? Watch Dogs.
But we have an hour and a half.
Call Tom Clancy. He's dead. Whatever.
Revive the ghost of Tom.
Revive Tom Clancy.
And...
oh, man.
Yeah. Ow. That hurt.
That's
me.
like exclusively shooters, except for like 1 or 2 titles. Like
they should have much in Ubi shooters. No.
Sweetie,
no.
Ubi don't know how to make shooters except for Far Cry. And even that's shaky sometimes.
Oh, God. I'm just glad we didn't have to see another shitty Assassin's Creed announced this year.
And then the next was just the Direct, right?
No, Square.
Oh, right, Square. Sorry about
Square!
that. I kind of like Squares.
Square! You had a real press conference this year. I'm very proud of you.
A lot of it wasn't stuff I liked. But, you know, stuff it looked like stuff they tried on. So
to sum up this, and we won't really go in depth other than Avengers. To sum it up, 2/3 of their hour-and-a-half block, was it?
It was just JRPGs.
Was just a bunch of including a deep dive. You didn't see it, but they led with a deep dive into the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I know. I went back and watched that, and I'm very excited about that. I never played FF7, but I told I need to. It's like it is considered one of like the games, like the games. So like, my plan is to play the remake, then go back and play the original. Because I think that's a unique perspective to get, and one that not a lot of people will have. Oh, yeah. So I think that'll be cool.
So for me, I was looking at that, and I have played one of the Final Fantasy games. I believe it was Final Fantasy 13-2 on the PlayStation 2 at the request of a friend.
See, not even I played FF. I played 15, but that's it.
A friend of mine, I was in middle school.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was just like, you should get a Final Fantasy. And I ended up with 13-2 on PS2.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm going to be honest, don't like it, but
Yeah, not a lot of people like 13.
Please don't hurt me. Everyone else. I mean, he knows this take of mine. I don't know what it is. I don't like turn-based gaming.
Well, you want to know why I got 15?
Why?
It's not turn-based.
Oh!
It's free combat, which is what the 7 remake is going to be.
But it's a hybrid, though.
Is it? Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it's menu, but like you still basically how that's like Kingdom Hearts. It's like you choose like what specific spell you want to use. It's very seamless. Like you get used to it. It's like, oh, these guys. The enemies are usually not complex enough to worry about.
Maybe then, but they led with that. Then they just did like hundreds of JRPGs.
Yeah,
it felt like.
But I liked how they did it, and the fact that like they had this cool little painting aesthetic. Like they panned from game to game, and they didn't give us any. Or they gave us very little of that corporate BS. Yeah. It was just game. And
you could tell that was the most genuine feeling press conference of the Square. Of the most genuine of the 3 companies that had traditional press conferences. Maybe it's because they're Japanese and the Japanese are just like, we like making games and sharing it with you.
Yeah, like, I liked it because no stage presence. You don't need one. We don't need E3.
I mean, like,
all I'm saying, it was like the one.
But it was also like I was also like kind of like nostalgia tripping back to the days of like the Nintendo pressers, where it's just like Japanese people and a translator.
We got to know Reggie because of E3,
and they're just like, here is game.
Yes,
enjoy game, and you could tell that audience was filled with people who like JRPGs. Yeah. Or Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just like, and that was genuine. Like, that's the E3 I know and enjoy.
It's like, I mean, I like everything up there, but you can tell someone does.
And you could tell that there's genuine excitement. Mm-hmm. Where everything else this year felt
fake
cold and corporate.
It's like, whatever, man. That's E3 I don't want. Like, if we can go back to the days of Reggie kicking ass and playing games, I'm down for that, man. I love the cringe compilation.
So before we get on to Nintendo and then talking about why we don't need E3, we do have to talk about the big Square title.
Ooh, I'm very excited for this.
The Avengers.
I like their new takes. The characters.
Hell yeah!
I'm so down.
I don't know what it, like, I'm not a huge Marvel person, but even I'm like, this looks awesome. Because they gave us next to nothing.
We don't have very many superhero games, man. We got Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But now we get people with powers and shit. That's awesome.
And it's first of all, it's Crystal Dynamics, the team behind the Tomb Raider games. So I'm already like, sold.
Trust the developer.
I was like, trust the developer. You guys, I mean, some Tomb Raider's wonky as hell from the sense of like, it's just fun, insane. You know? Like, but it's fun and it's gorgeous.
I'm not expecting like MCU storytelling. I'm expecting a fun superhero game. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm going to focus on.
And that's what I want.
Like, as long as the game plays well, cool.
The things they did say are co-op.
Which yes.
Yeah, 4-player co-op.
There's a lot of co-op this year, which I did like. There's a lot of like couch co-op for stuff.
And they said co-op up to 4 players because the 4 Avengers and continual additions as the years go on.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, add more Avengers, add more stories. Hell yeah,
and
probably.
They ended with an Ant-Man reveal, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I think it's older Ant-Man though. I think it's like before, whatever.
So Avengers, awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Game it's all. Wait, here's the big thing. It's free. Continuous content.
Yeah, free continuous
content.
No
microtransactions down. We
no
were like,
passes.
You're making a video game.
Yeah, it's like, yay!
We're paying for a product and getting the product.
Yeah.
Imagine that, dude.
I'm like, yes! Thank you, Square. Good shit.
I'm beginning to feel like games are like cars. I have to buy them off, like make payments every month to keep using the goddamn thing.
Square was Square was probably my favorite press conference, and
so wholesome.
And I'd say game of that conference, and I won't say game of the show yet, but game of the conference at the very least, easily Avengers. Because
if I knew Final Fantasy VII more, I probably would have given it to that. But nah, I'm alright.
Yeah. And then now, the original we don't care about E3.
The only other one that had its shit together this year.
Nintendo with
the Direct.
with their Direct and our introduction to the new president.
Oh, Doug Bowser, baby.
Nintendo of America, Doug Bowser. Some of you who may not know, I think it was back in March, was it, when he announced these retired?
Yeah.
Back in March, the legend of Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé, announced he was retiring. He's not sick or anything. He's just like...
He just made enough money.
He's like,
I respect that, man.
I'm done. I want to spend the rest... He said in his announcement, I want to spend time with my family.
He's like late 40s, right?
Yeah.
Let the man retire. Like, he's
yeah.
good.
I had no... I mean, everybody... It was...
Can you imagine that pension plan?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be still making more than you make.
And the thing... And just to talk about that moment for a second, it was such a bizarre moment in gaming to see the gaming community say goodbye to a fucking
They'd be happy, dude. Everyone was
to
like,
an executive.
We love you, Reggie.
Everybody in gaming was just like, we love you, Reggie. Like, good luck.
He made a Twitter because of it.
Yeah, he's like, it was such a weird moment because it speaks to the fun side of gaming, where what other industry is just an executive, like, when he retires.
He didn't even he was the North American
president of...
That's a fucking nothing. It's like, you hold over translations. That's what you got.
And so he was replaced by the most unintentionally hilarious replacement.
You think he got the job? Because like there was a close second between two people, and he's like, "Your name's Bowser."
Well, he was the CFO of Nintendo America under Reggie.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure on some level they were just like, "Come on."
Or maybe Reggie was like, "I want him.
I want the man whose last name is Bowser."
Yeah, exactly.
And so the Direct started, and I thought, how funny was that when they had the little animated...
Yeah, like actual Bowser came out, he started talking
and he's in a tie, and they're like, you hear just a... like whatever the noise is. Yeah. And they're like, no, not you. And then Doug Bowser was... I knew they'd make a joke like that.
Yeah, like...
But I was just like, this is Nintendo. It's wholesome.
Because I was afraid
funny.
They weren't going to show anything off about, like, Doug, you know? Like, that's good.
We got to, and I liked his presence. I think he was... I mean, no one's ever going to top Reggie Fils-Aimé.
But I like how they let him...
is Reggie.
I like how they let him, like, take the reins on it and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Well, you have to, because, like,
Yeah, President of America.
President of Nintendo of America. Welcome, Doug Bowser.
Well,
let's talk about what they showed.
First Smash reveal from Dragon Quest, which isn't popular over here, which is fine because we got Banjo later, which is really cool. That's really fucking smart because Dragon Quest is huge over in Japan.
Yeah,
it's one of Japan's #1 franchises ever.
Yeah,
it's one of the games that started the RPG franchise. It's our Final Fantasy essentially.
Yes.
That is. I say that, and they're both Japan. But popularity-wise, I mean. So they got that, and then later, the West, we've been asking for Banjo and Smash since Melee, and they gave it to us. That was really smart of them, because people would have been disappointed either way. But you give them both, there you go. So yeah, that was Smash.
They loved that, and then the first half, was it about the first half of the show, was a lot of JRPG stuff.
Yeah, there was a couple interesting things, like Astral Chain looks cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of...
But for the most part, the first half was a lot of JRPGs, which, again, not an issue. No. Nintendo is a Japanese company. Mm-hmm. No shit they're going to do that. And then, as the second half of Direct started, they announced...
Luigi's Mansion 3?
Luigi's Mansion 3,
that
which...
was really good, actually.
Yeah, I've never, like, played one of the...
First one was kind of a tech demo for the GameCube.
Yeah. I played the arcade, like... cabinet version at a Dave & Buster's once, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I know those games are pretty good, though. Like, they get good reviews. They're always just a stable...
Dude, they're porting everything. Like, everything to the Switch.
Everything on the Switch.
Like, old, new, doesn't matter. Like, Contra's coming. Every Contra game's coming. Every Resident Evil's coming. The Secret of Mana games are coming. Literally, a lot of announcements. This E3 alone has just been like, we're bringing this series to the Switch. All of it. Cool. And it's available today.
It's great. And it's great.
Nintendo's doing the smartest fucking thing they can do.
We'll take everything.
Just give it here.
Give it to us. We'll put it on. We'll sell it.
More games is always a good thing. That's the Wii U. That's the one thing the Wii U didn't have.
The Switch is such a good.
It's like you want your game portable. We got you. Like
fuck mobile games.
Such a smart.
Get a
thing.
Switch.
Like damn.
It is
like Witcher 3's coming.
Witcher
like,
3.
Ni no Kuni.
Pretty much.
Alien Isolation.
That stupid IGN prank this year is kind of coming true.
Yeah.
Like everything is coming to the Switch.
So yeah, they had Astral Chain. That was a cool release that they came out with.
Lots of ports.
Link's Awakening looks really cute.
Yeah, Link's Awakening. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get it, dude.
Top-down Zelda is probably my favorite way of doing Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, between the third-person ones and the top-downs.
And I've been told Link's Awakening is actually a really good game, but it always threw me out because, Game Boy graphics.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big graphics guy, but like the way it plays on GameCube would just hurt me a little bit.
Yeah.
But now that it's coming to a full-fledged Switch port that looks like, the elves from Rudolph.
Yeah. I'm in... What was the Zelda rhythm game that they showed, too?
Rhythm game. Oh, Cadence for Hyrule.
Cadence for Hyrule, yeah.
Yeah, it's a spin-off from Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is a cool game. Like, you, as the beat of the music goes, you move.
Yeah.
So
I was not familiar with that.
No,
but when I saw the Zelda one, I was like, hell yeah. Cool. That sounds awesome.
Like a rhythm game, but an action-adventure game.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That
cool.
sounds really like a really cool idea.
And then
they announced updates. They reiterated what they said in the Pokemon Direct, just in case I guess you didn't see the Pokemon Direct.
Pokemon Direct, I guess. Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 2, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Kind of get it, dude.
I love Mario Maker games. And my favorite announcement from Nintendo, I mean, unfortunately, they did announce that it's getting delayed to March 2020.
We all knew it was going to get delayed.
Yeah, it was going to get it delayed.
As soon as it fucking... Sorry.
He dropped his phone underneath the couch.
Happens every time. What was I going to say?
As soon as... What? It was about the delay for...
Yeah, as soon as they announced 2019, the last one, we were like, yeah, it's gonna be another year, which is fine. Take the time.
So,
whatever.
Animal Crossing,
Ginger Girl, yeah.
Hell yeah! I think the first Animal Crossing game I played was Animal Crossing 3DS, but it's just so nice and wholesome,
Is the dog gonna be in the game?
And I love it so much.
They're adding materials, I think, which is big for Animal Crossing.
You're building the town yourself.
Yeah, you're building the town, which is really cool.
Yeah. I'm like, this is wicked cool. Like, awesome.
You're making it just a town builder, which is what. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Animal Crossing, it's amazing. I joked with Mike that as these games go on, Tom Nook progressively takes over more and more of the economy. He started as a real estate developer. Now he's got commercial. Is he Donald Trump?
He might be.
Now he's got commercial flights. He's got his own cell phone network. He's got his own bank, presumably.
Probably owns the entertainment industry.
Yeah. Tom Nook is slowly... At Matt Pat. Get on this shit. Tom Nook is Donald Trump.
Of course.
Make it happen. Theorize that. But I love Animal Crossing. I don't know what it is about Animal Crossing. It's just nice.
It is. It's just a wholesome, fun game. You can't hate Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Why would you?
It's just adorable little shoveling for shells.
And then they end it
with an announcement that genuinely caught people off guard.
It wasn't leaked, and I'm very happy it wasn't, because I freaked the hell out when I saw this trailer, dude.
Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel.
We don't know what it's called, but the thing is, when Ocarina of Time got made, 2 years later, they made a little sequel called Majora's Mask with the same engine, but it had a really creepy tone, good story. So if they're doing the same thing with this one, I'm gonna be a happy boy. And I kind of just beat Breath of the Wild like a couple months ago, and I loved it. One of my favorite games. So I'm very gaming's doing a lot for me recently, and I feel kind of bad. I'm getting Persona 5 The Royal got announced right after I beat Persona 5. Breath of the Wild 2 got announced right after I beat Zelda.
Hell yeah.
Some people wait for this garbage for years, and I'm just like, yay! The new one's coming
perfectly.
out. Exactly.
Yeah.
That was very exciting.
So that I was excited about that too. It was wildly successful. So to some degree,
wild.
You don't kill yourself.
I
At YouTube, don't demonetize me, even though we don't make money.
We don't make money.
Nintendo.
What can I say? It's Nintendo.
Like,
We're always impressed by Nintendo.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people that I know don't really like Nintendo that much, but I'm like, they're wholesome.
Yeah.
They care.
Anybody who I know who like doesn't like Nintendo doesn't hate them. They're just like, I just don't play Nintendo.
Yeah,
like, that's fair.
And I hate the argument now that Nintendo only does kid stuff.
You don't.
Because look at what they're porting. Like,
you didn't see that Breath of the Wild trailer if you think that shit's for kids.
I love Nintendo. They're
kid friendly doesn't mean like kiddie though. You know?
As the gaming industry has evolved, the one thing that Nintendo it takes them a little bit to evolve with the times for most. But one thing I have to say about Nintendo is they've never lost the fact that we are making games to entertain.
Yeah, they've never lost like the customer is our goal. Like,
yes,
if they don't buy our games, we are not. They would have gone under if they did another blunder like the Wii U. They would have not been here. What the Switch did was this is a good sign of them being like, oh, you like us. All of you, not just the kids, not just the casual audience. Everyone likes our games. So let's make games for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, isn't that a concept? Put everything on your system, make diverse things for your system, open up third-party support. Remember when that was a dream? When you have a third-party game on a Nintendo system?
Yep.
Back in my day. We only had our Marios and Zeldas.
And the occasional weird COD on them. I played, what was it? I still remember playing, I think it was the first Black Ops on the original Wii.
Where you can hold the pistol gangster style.
Barring weird, awful ports like that, we never got it. And now Nintendo's like, yeah.
Yeah. The port would have to be substantially different from the actual game.
Yeah.
Now, it's not. It's the same. You can kill Nazis on the go.
Hell yeah!
On a Nintendo console.
Nintendo, still the best.
Yeah, they are.
I love Sony.
Their exclusives are awesome. But as a company, Nintendo's great.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Or maybe they're really awful, but I like to live in my ignorance.
Yeah, we like to live in the...
They haven't shown us anything of the opposite.
They are the reverse of EA.
Yes.
Is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So... that was Game of the Direct.
Game of the Direct. I'm kind of intrigued at Astral Train, but I'll say Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
I'll say Animal Crossing.
I love Animal Crossing. So that was all of the people who did show up, and as you could tell, as we were going through this and talking about the different companies, the different press conferences, the different approaches. This year, Mike and I really didn't like E3.
Nope.
We liked some of the games they showed, but we didn't like the conferences. I didn't watch a single bit of IGN show floor coverage once the show floor opens up. We're recording this on Thursday, what's today, the 12th? No, the 13th.
The only thing I've tuned into E3-wise since then is the Treehouse thing.
Oh, yeah, the Treehouse thing. Yeah. Nintendo does their things where
they show off their games after their conference. Imagine that coverage.
So we're recording this on the 13th. I believe today is the day that the show floor closes on E3 for E3 2019. I didn't care after and as it is, a lot of the press conferences, I'm like, fuck, I'd rather be doing something else. But because I have this channel and I do this, I want to... I have to keep track, and
it's like...
So, go ahead.
About the show floor, it's like the games that are coming out I can wait for, and the ones that are there, just, I don't care. Like, whatever. Yeah. I can wait.
So, I guess I'll kind of rant. Would you like to kind of, talk about why you think it's gone downhill first, or should I? Or should I come up with questions to guide us for it?
Yeah, you can start it off.
So, for me, I have been... watching E3, watching coverage since back in the day when G4 was a network. Remember G4?
Remember the G4? The last thing they did, the top 100 video games of all time, and they stopped being a channel.
Yeah. Then NBC infamously just said, nope. Bye. I've been watching it ever since I was a kid. That's what got me into looking at games critically and the desire to cover the games industry was watching those guys do E3 coverage. And at that time in 2010, and really I'd argue up until maybe like in the past 3 or 4 years, it's the E3 has started to become irrelevant. And nowhere is it more evident than this year, where Sony, one of the big 3 developers, just said, fuck it, we're not going. And I understand why, because E3 has always been the industry trade event, not for the fans. I don't remember if we were recording when we said this, but I liked what you said about you have a trade show when you need a middleman.
Yeah, this was before in the podcast. I said this today.
Oh, you said, well, I don't know if I can hit record when.
Yeah.
But I really like what you just said there. Because at a trade show is to show the people selling you things what it is.
Yeah, you need to have that person to tell the consumers what they're seeing. But
Yeah.
when you already have that.
When you have the direct line, the way the game... Because that's the reality of gaming. You have the direct line to the consumer. Why do you need this? That's why 2 years ago they opened the show floor to consumers again. Because it's been... Because E3 started in the 90s, right?
Yeah, and then for...
Late 90s.
They tried doing it for the public for a little bit.
And then they stopped again, and
I think moved to like a really small, like... There was 1 year where they did it, and it was like 400 people there. And
yeah.
It was like... And then they didn't do that. It was like weird. I don't know why they
E3 has had such a bizarre history as it is.
So weird.
So I guess this is kind of inevitable that this would happen, that it's become...
It's always really been shaky, honestly.
Yeah, it's always been shaky, but you still had those moments of hype. But... it's gone now.
Yeah.
Like this, you could palpably feel a lack of excitement from any of the developers that still had conferences.
We were talking about like better ideas and just talking. We were like, through most of the show. I'm sorry, I don't mean.
You go ahead.
But like through most of the show, we were just bored. Yeah. Honestly.
And I think it's just. I think that the people. We still have incredible creativity in gaming and incredible people. Like
there's always going to be.
But as a whole, the companies that are still doing this are the other than Nintendo, are the companies, and I guess Square this year, are the companies that just don't get it.
I think, yeah.
They just don't get how to how to show us things. Like, think about 2 years ago, the PlayStation event, where we first hear about God of War.
Yeah.
Where we get the Detroit demos.
All the orchestral comment.
All the orchestrals. Ooh. Everything. And you get people who are just like, I love what I've been working on for the past 2 years. Yeah. And I can't wait for you to try it. Yeah. I, not once during this entire, maybe during some of the stuff at the Square event, but for the most part, I didn't have one moment where I saw a dev that was like, I am so proud of this and want to show it to you. Yeah. It felt like all of buzzwords. It was buzzwords. It was marketing. Apologies. And maybe I'm just growing as a person. But even you said, I remember saying to you when we sat down to watch the Ubi event, or it was a Square event, when I asked you.
It all blends together. See how that works?
I remember when we sat down on our with our PlayStations, we were on a PS4 party, and I just kind of said to you, like, hey, is it just me, or is this just not been a fun E3? And he's like, no, I agree. Like, it sucks this year.
It sucks.
And the cringe compilation is just going to be boring.
Yeah, there's not going to be a cringe compilation, because no one was there.
Yeah. And I guess it was inevitable. And one thing I heard, I think it was... I was just rewatched last year. The Honest Trailers guy did an honest trailer for the concept of E3, and I know like that's like a spoof thing. But one thing he said that like actually kind of resonates with me is, why do we need this when we have things like PAX or Gamescom or any of the or even though Blizzard is owned by Activision now, BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Why do we need this event when you have stuff where the consumer can go, your companies are still allocating the resources, and you can do the same thing without needing the industry exclusivity of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. I think this doesn't work anymore because we don't need it to be a trade show.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thoughts as to why it's gone downhill, and just overall why this year I didn't care so much about E3. Also, I was distracted by the FIFA Women's World Cup, but that's a given because I like sports.
I think...
And now you can...
I got a few thoughts about this, I guess. I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been thinking about the industry for a while.
Yes.
You know? So, I guess I've come across a few personal truths. One being that the game developers that we know aren't the same ones back in the day. Jobs move. People leave. People come back. It's the same name. It's a completely different team.
Yep.
Completely different. New policies, new people, new things. When I've only experienced this a couple times. So when I'm at a job and a new person, and like one of the people who've been there for a long time leaves, control starts to set in. Because that one employee was like, I don't give a fuck. I know how things work around here. It was a lot looser. It was a lot better. Then that person leaves and shit gets bad. So it's kind of like that, right? Your favorite game devs aren't there anymore. Imagine these are all new companies coming out of the woodwork. There are people who have tried to study the formula of what sells a game and tries to do that. It's not people who love games making games anymore. They still exist. I'm not going to say they're not. A lot of the corporate stuff, though, is people who need a job. Programmers who need a job. That's all it is. The art director, you can't say anything. You need to have art that looks good to sell a game. So, whether or not that artist, I can't say. I'm not big on the art version of this side of things. But going to E3, you're right. It was a trade show, turned public show, turned trade show, turned private show, turned trade show, turned public show. Its focus has always been like, what the fuck is E3? We always knew it was about games, but who is it for? That's kind of been muddled over the years. I think a trade show should be for console reveals. I think would be smart. Yeah. That's hardware. That's like
you can make the argument that that's what CES is for.
Yeah, that you can make the argument that's
if you don't know, that's the Consumer Electronics Show.
So just do that
in Vegas. Just go to CES.
What your shareholders care about is not about the trailer for the game. Your shareholder doesn't give a flying fuck about that. Shareholder cares about the sales of the game. You have shareholder meetings. Who cares? Fuck them. Like the trade meetings for the media. But we have YouTube. We have all of that. So what Sony did was kind of smart. I would rather them done a direct like Nintendo does, like some sort of like whatever. They are doing that actually. I just read that PlayStation Destination in February. So they're going to be doing that.
Oh,
a whole like year roadmap.
Okay,
which is good.
Yes,
do that and their reasoning was really smart. They were like E3 is too late in the holiday season, to entice anybody. You know what you're going to buy when you're going to buy E3.
Exactly.
So February is kind of like, here's what's coming up in the year.
Okay.
Good.
I didn't read about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. PlayStation Destination will work on the name, but But what Sony did was just release a bunch of trailers. I could just look at the trailers. You go to E3. Why? For the trailer. The only thing I can make E3 a case for, and this is what I love, when either we're getting a lot of information on the game I really want to hear about, but not enough that it spoils it, but here's what this game is going to be. Yeah. Okay, good. If a developer is very excited about their game, I like seeing that. It's
Barlog at the God of War.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, a Direct does that. A Direct shows you the game, and sometimes after that, they're like, look at all this new stuff. The Mario Maker 2 Direct, they're like, hey, you can do this with this, this with this. Look at all this cool stuff you can do. That's what it should be. That's what we're there for. We're there for hype. We're there to see our games. We're see new games. We're there to see trailers. There to see announcements. We don't come there for the old dudes coming up on stage and saying, "Roll." We don't need that. I'm zoning out. My eyes are glazing over. I don't care, dude. And in Bethesda thing, we care about you. I don't care. I see what you're doing. Everyone sees what you're doing. It's cool that you're saying it and all. Just get on with it. This is E3. This is not your apology damage control show. And then all the mobile games, all the fucking TV show, movie, Netflix crossover. What does this show become, man? It used I love the moments, and I had it with Breath of the Wild or yesterday rather. When I watched it, I was like, I'm really excited. I got that heart beating in my chest. Whenever I see what is this creepy thing? Oh, that's a torch. That kind of looks like that Zelda. I saw and I started getting out of my seat. I missed that. That's the E3 I love. To get when the child's jumping down, like you're excited for games. I'm not excited for games. I'm watching people give excuses on stage. That's not E3, man. That's whatever. I'd rather watch trailers than watch that. Like I said, the worst thing in E3 can be is boring, and now it's just getting boring.
Just go to PAX instead.
Yeah, just to go watch YouTube. I watch my streamers and YouTubers react to shit. It's fine.
The thing about it is, too, in comparing it to, because I mean, we've never been on the show floor at an E3
no,
before.
I can't say
and
what that's like.
I've got to imagine that it's similar to if you're on, like, the PAX show floor.
Yeah.
Where you have these big booths where you get to play stuff that's not done yet. And, like, I imagine, because I remember being at PAX 2018 and just being like, oh my god, like, I'm playing shit that's not out yet. This is cool.
That's the thing. Video games are about interactivity. That's the third instrument that separates them from any medium. Yeah. So why not have shows where you play the games?
Yes.
Doesn't that make sense?
Not let the media and trade holders be the ones demoing, because they don't know how to evaluate it.
I don't trust IGN reviewers like that. They don't matter, because all they do is play 2 hours of a game that they're bad at. Yeah. And they review it like that. I'd rather watch a YouTube video of a person who plays games for a living.
And the thing, too, is that, like, when I was at PAX 2018, one thing I noticed was the communal aspect to it all. Mm-hmm. Total strangers were coming up to me. Is this your first show? Yeah. Are you liking it? Isn't it awesome? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, like, I didn't, like, get numbers or something, but I made friends in the moment. Like, It was like, yeah, what have you played so far? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I played this, I played this, I played this. Oh, when the producer, Amanda, and I were walking out of the convention, when we left, we were talking about how we didn't get to go to the Nintendo booth. And somebody was like, wasn't worth it. You didn't see anything new. Like, there's that communal aspect to it that maybe you get if you're in Los Angeles on the show floor. Mm-hmm. But it's lacking. Yeah. And that's why you're seeing more resources dedicated to shows like PAX as opposed to E3.
Yeah, that's why you're seeing companies do their own independent. Even EA did EA Play. Like they live streamed their own thing. Like, and that even looked better than the show floor. Yeah. At least it looked professional, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is with like directs and shit like that is that you can like, you know,
Nintendo
we'll miss the cute quirky moments of E3, and I'll miss that. I'll miss Reggie coming up on stage being like, I love kicking ass, taking names, whatever. I miss that, but I won't miss it if we cut out the rest of the bullshit. Yeah. It's small.
The direct concept is so much smarter because number one, I remember at first not liking the direct concept because I'm like, come on, what about the fun shit? But again, they showed me that you still have the fun. Even with Doug Bowser, they still had
editing. It's better. you can take text. And imagine if that was live. Could you imagine first take live on that? It would be awful.
The thing about it is that like the direct concept also you have the ability to be telling stuff over the course of the year.
Yeah.
The direct is not just at E3. Mm-hmm. Directs happen.
They like every couple of months they have a direct.
Every couple of months.
Like, here's what's happening. Here's what you're getting. Here's what's happening. I love that.
Yeah. So much better. E3 it's not dead yet, but it's just dying.
I think it's because of stuff like the directs, you know? Like, it's like, oh, there's a better thing?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just do that?
So, I think that about sums up a game of the show. Do you have one?
God, I wish I could just not.
You want to just not?
I mean, concepts that look interesting that... I already forgot the name. The Groundhog Day one, Time Splitter, whatever it was. Not Time Splitter. But Avengers, that's the one that sticks out to me right now. Avengers Animal Crossing, Smash. Like, you know... Like,
Avengers...
Can I give it to Smash again?
No. You can if you want to count DLC.
The Smash
but
DLC.
By that logic, my game of the show is the Forza Horizon Lego expansion
pack. And I'll take Banjo-Kazooie.
All right. Well, that will wrap it up on our discussion of E3 2019. We got dark in the realm of where gaming is.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Not enough water.
Yeah, that about sums it up. As for production, as to what I'm doing, I don't think I mentioned this in the last podcast. Producer Amanda has an internship now. She has not returned back to Connecticut. She's in Boston almost full time now. So I have been trying to keep her workload very light. That's why you haven't been seeing as much from me. I saw Rocket Man, but we're not going to review it. We're past the point on that one. I've seen a couple things. My next possible one might be Toy Story 4, but that depends on if she's still editing the special secret project we have.
If Toy Story 4 is good.
If Toy Story 4, if I have anything to say. The problem is I've seen a lot of stuff lately that I've really liked, but I don't have enough to sustain like a 5-minute review.
I haven't seen the trailer since the one that came out like last year when they introduced the fork guy.
Yeah. So just keep an eye on. Follow the Instagram. I'm still doing quick thoughts quite often, even though we are back from hiatus. And I think that about does it. So thank you again for talking games with me, buddy.
Thanks for having me, pal.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.